Okay, well, I myself had dyslexia also as a child, and I didn't get help with reading and writing till I was almost a teenager. So I recognized the symptoms right away in my daughters as soon as they showed delay in reading, and there was actually some other things also, but were not able to spell right away. My first suspicion was dyslexia. Well, it systematically goes through, starts with auditory and just picking out the sounds in a word and then matching that, what they hear specifically to letters, and very systematically takes them through a reading program.
I had on their IEPs, I had all the paperwork done. They had extra response time, they had preferential seating in the front of the room, but you know, they were told to read 20 minutes every night, and unfortunately their parents had such a difficult time that I don't think they always read for 20 minutes every night, because they didn't know how to read. They would look at the pictures maybe, and they would figure out some storylines from the pictures. But they were not learning to read, and I was absolutely devastated because
it just kind of means, I don't know, I have trouble reading and writing and spelling and stuff. It just makes things harder. Some people think it's like really horrible to have dyslexia, and it's actually a privilege in some ways because it creates good working habits. It's a lot harder to do your homework and stuff. So as you do your homework and try to keep up, you are actually building harder working skills.
It was really hard. I didn't really see like I had a problem. I just knew it was hard for me to read and for me to do stuff. So like learning out that I had, or finding out that I had dyslexia, it was kind of like, okay, so I have dyslexia. And then when I started to get like going into private tutoring for dyslexia, then like I started to see it getting easier and learning in different ways that I never learned in before, and it definitely got a lot easier for me, and compared to before I knew that I had dyslexia.
My now 17-year-old was identified when he was between 4th grade and 5th grade. He was struggling to read, and we couldn't figure out why, because he is very smart. He was able to keep up with the coursework, but when you listen to him reading out loud, something wasn't right. It wasn't, he seemed to be smarter than what he was able to read out loud. It didn't match up. Connor was between kindergarten and 1st grade. We noticed some of the same signs that Ryan struggled with, only Connor seemed to have a harder time with the learning to read part. Ryan had some of the similar struggles when he was learning to read, but Connor seemed to be struggling a lot more. And after learning what we went through with Ryan, we were more aware of what to pay attention to, the reversal of the letters. Around 2nd grade, you shouldn't be reversing your letters anymore, and Connor still was. Struggling with the phonics sounds. Even in kindergarten, he would read, and the kindergarten teacher would have to keep reviewing over the basic sounds because the letters and the sounds weren't matching up. The numbers would be reversed. Following directions, sometimes it took longer. There was little things, but having seen them before, it was more obvious earlier that he had a bigger struggle.
My name is Ellen O'Neill. I'm the Executive Director of the Atlantic Seaboard Dyslexia Education Center. We train academic therapists in structured literacy to remediate reading difficulties with students age 7 to 70. Dyslexia is a brain-based learning disability. These students have been shown to just learn differently, and this system is structured to teach them to reach their academic potential and often soar well above that academic potential.